Hey everyone, let's take a look at some watches from a small micro brand called Sheffield. I thought these was really interesting. I think their first watches were only last year in 2023. That's these right here. These are two different variants of the Sheffield All Sport 1. And this guy right here is the A1, which I'll get to in a little bit. So I think there's a really cool story behind this watch or this brand. Sheffield was a company. Well, they are a company, and they also were a company back in the day. I don't know when they were first founded, but they disappeared in the 1970s, like so many other watch brands. But before they disappeared, someone happened to have received one, I think as a gift when they were a child back in the 1960s, and it was only $13, supposedly. And years later, in 2022, 2023, he wound up reviving the brand, bringing Sheffield back. And for this watch, the first watch that was revived, he wanted to be the same price as that original watch that got him into watches. It's not $13 anymore. Well, it is. It's just including inflation. And with inflation, these watches are $107, which is still, by today's standards, a pretty inexpensive watch. And that's kind of impressive for a small new brand to achieve. I think the original brand, pretty sure Sheffield was originally in Sheffield in the UK. I think the revitalized brand is American. These packages were sent to me from Utah. I think he's an American. I'm not positive of that, but I'm pretty impressed with these watches for that price. Now, when I look at less expensive products, I always thought it's kind of interesting how much work you have to do to really hit a price target. Like if your goal is to make it a fantastic watch and it winds up costing thousands of dollars, in a sense, that's a simpler path, I've always felt, than a company that has a very specific price target of 107. You really have to shop around. You really have to be judicious with the features that you have and really look to add and remove different things. So the first thing you can see that these are quartz. That original watch, that original Sheffield All Sport he had was a mechanical, I believe a hand wound. You're not going to make a $107 watch, a good one at least, mechanical. You see it's a no-date quartz watch, but that dial is, I believe, an original one. I haven't seen that on any other watch, and I think that's where the unique parts are. This insert here, I don't believe it's ceramic, but it is embossed. Really, really nice. I think overall a very attractive watch. The case is probably off the shelf. You could see it looks like a Submariner, and the case back also kind of looks like it's Submariner Rolex style. But it's tricky. If you want to make a $107 watch, you have to decide which of the parts that we're going to pick off the shelf. Maybe the crown is, and which ones do we do new? And that dial, I kind of think is fitted really nice for this. It comes on an FKM rubber strap, which is pretty high quality. I gotta say, I'm really impressed. Now, there's a standard version of this with the crown on the right. There was some reason that he made a left-hand version. I think one of his friends was left-handed, and this one looks like it's coming from another Rolex, the Yachtmaster, right? With that deep blue sunburst dial and the embossed steel bezel. Looks like the rhodium bezel on the Rolex, if I'm not mistaken. But I think these two watches are really attractive for the price. They also come with a little case here. This was his first attempt at reissuing. When you start a brand, you always start small. And I was really impressed with these, even though I think a lot of this is off the shelf. I think the assembly of everything together, I think the dial is the only custom bit. If I'm not mistaken, there might be a left-hand version of this one. Maybe not. He's since come out with a lot of other special editions of this watch, but really let's put this on the wrist. And let's take a look at the lumen a bit, get some dimensions, and then I want to pivot to the All Sport A1, not the 1. Okay. Yeah, we'll just hold that here. That's a 7.5-inch wrist, and I think it's a very attractive watch. I really like it. Yeah, the bezel has a really good click to it. It feels like a high quality watch, no question. That is a sapphire crystal. That is 200 meters of water resistance. Yeah, there's no obvious skimpings here, at least not in quality. Let's get the dimensions. And then I really do want to get to that, the Allsport A1. So we have this as a 40 millimeter watch. It is a svelte 13 millimeter thick, and lug to lug, we're talking 47 millimeter. I mentioned the FKM quick release spring bar, etched back with the model. Yeah, the Sheffield Allsport diver one, not just the one, sorry. Really cool. Now, that original $13 watch was based off that mechanical watch from the 60s, but a little bit later, that Allsport, they came out with an automatic version. And this watch is that price plus inflation. I think this watch was only $179 for me. Fantastic price. They look very different. The original Allsport, I believe they both looked like this, but for his first attempt, that's as close as he could get to hit that price. You kind of see the shape of the 12 o'clock index there. Kind of looks like these index here. But this watch here, to me, is just really, really impressive. This watch looks very much like that original Sheffield Allsport. The way those indexes are, let's zoom in on this. Yeah, you have lots of lume. That handset appears to be custom. The dial seems to be custom. This bezel, I don't know if it's, I think it's IP coated metal, and that's a ceramic insert. We have another custom back here, but this one is an automatic. You can see it as a Seiko NH35, also 200 meters of water resistance, sapphire, Japan movement, cased in China. That's upside down. Let's see. And that's a really cool logo. The diver with fish and 3 stars. Really neat. We also have the magnifying glass. I'm pretty sure this is also a 90-click bezel. All these are 90-click bezels. And to hit this price, this case I still think is the same case as the others. We have the quick release, or rather the drilled lugs, quick release. This is an aftermarket strap. This is not the one that came on this. The same black strap came on all of these watches. But $179 for a custom watch, as in, a unique design. It's not a clone of anything. Well, I guess it is a clone of the original. With lume, NH35. Yeah, that's a good package. Let me get that on the wrist, and then let's try to get some lume. I'm not going to go through the whole ordeal again. There you go. Let's zoom out so we can actually see it. Really cool. I've been loving this. When I first got these, I've been wearing them a ton. I got this, and it kind of took over. Really, really nice. And he's on a roll. He has a bunch of other watches that are revitalizations of other Sheffield watches. Some of them might be completely original. I think at this point seem to be 4 or 5 different models. Really, really cool. I gotta say I'm impressed. It's just someone who said, I love this brand. No one's making it. I'm gonna bring it back. I love that watch in my childhood, and other people should get to hold it. All right, let's turn off these lights and adjust this. All right, that's about right. What I'm seeing here, fully loomed. Yeah, that's just. I got to tell you, the smaller company seems to do better lume than the big guys. I'm not going to do a lume test or anything. I just want to kind of give you a real world gauge. I always try to set the brightness to look like what I see in the room, and I think it's fantastic. Let's take a look at what the quartz one looks like. Yeah, the one with the steel bezel is not lumed. That's the trade-off. but the one with the, I don't think it's ceramic bezel, but I know it's like a bezel with depth. That one is fully loomed. Really, really cool watches. If you like any of these, definitely check them out. Sheffield watches. Even if you don't like these, check them out because you might like some of the other new models. One of the watches really cool. The whole dial is tilted, so it's like a driver's watch. I think I'm going to pick up one of those next. Anyways, hopefully you learn something. Hopefully you like these watches, and hopefully you give them a shot. All right. Thank you very much.